Hello, we're back. Tech goblins always happens. It's okay. Um, right path. You all going left. Holding cells, aka the giant sewer thing.
Mhm.
Returning to what we were saying earlier.
Oh, I was asking if the giant sewer holding cell presumably has grates or something to prevent us from just swimming away.
Yes. Yeah, there's
Okay.
a lot of it is blocked off essentially. They've modified it to where the sewer would normally go through. It collects in this one area and then will kind of seep out on the other side of this place.
Okay. Not a way out.
No. Well, technically.
Not for us,
You
probably.
could looking like remembering the map. There is, but you would have to go through the holding cell.
Well, yeah. Oh,
So
and I
there would be,
suppose
there
we
could
don't
be
know
a way
what's
out.
in it.
Mm.
Not off the, it doesn't state on the map. You could get guesses, but it doesn't state.
All right. Rila,
Yep.
we're here. What now?
Well, I can't get the lights to work, so I think that somebody figured out how to get some of those tech to be disrupted. So we're gonna try a different thing. I'm gonna try this button, and you hear a buzz sound, and a door on the far right begins to open. Did a door open?
Yeah, do open.
Good. That should lead out of this wing and towards the old cells properly, which is
Alright.
going to be attached to the. Uh, it's unfortunately attached to the manor side, and that's like the offices now. Um, but also where the what's the word for it? The giant stupid greenhouse is, and also the graveyard. So for the old family that lived here, it's not like it's a it's not like a creepy haunted graveyard. It's just where the old family lived because their manor was here.
As far
That's
as
there.
you know.
Hmm?
As far as you know, it's not
Also,
haunted.
all graveyards are creepy.
Yeah. But of course, as far as I know, it's not haunted. But there's no such thing as a haunted anything.
Of course. Just like there's no such thing as a giant crocodile man.
Oh no,
In the
we've
sewers.
proven that scientifically. Like I
But we
saw
hadn't
that
3
thing.
years ago. Okay, more than 3 years at this point.
Listen, do you want me to? I'm not going to. Look, ghosts aren't a thing.
So wait, so you mean to tell me that we can have crocodile men, that we can have people, out in the forests just sort of doing their thing, laughing like hyenas. We can have me made of ink, but we can't have ghosts. Is that what
They're
you're telling me?
Well, that's all like stuff that can get explained by science and bad experiments and chemical accidents. Ghosts are supernatural things that aren't real. They
I
cannot
would
be proven by the scientific process. Also, get out of the sewage tunnel.
I would love to put a pin in the whole "you made of ink" thing because that's new confirmed information.
That's none of your business.
You just said it. It is not business now.
I said it, but it doesn't make it part of your business.
We'll see about that. And
You aren't
Caden,
from here.
This is stimulating conversation. I haven't had some in a while. Please get out of the sewer tunnel.
You don't tell me what to do. You're not in charge.
Cadence is
We're
moving.
helping you. We're helping you. Don't
Cadence is moving.
boss me
you.
around.
What
I'm
is
tired of all of this.
presently in the tunnels that you're so concerned about?
Oh, I was talking about things hunting grounds.
Yes, are we talking about Sobek or another?
Sobek right now.
Okay.
He seems to have been trying to track one of you. Don't know why. Don't know what you did to maybe piss him off.
Cadence whips around towards. I wonder, and then turns back around and is heading in the direction that Riddler has asked them to go.
To be fair, I didn't do anything.
Did you exist near him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your problem.
Yeah, I kind of figured, but it's not my fault.
Out of the tunnel. Out of
Out
the
the
tunnel.
door, out the door we go.
Yep.
I don't want to argue with Crocodile Man.
Oh yeah, no, we're moving. Yeah, like once we heard it was so back, King is like, well,
Cadence was already moving. Just took a second to just like whip back and be like.
As you all exit and like the door closes behind you, you all also can hear thundering along that hall that you had just left. You can hear something moving now, like rapidly running on all fours.
well, would you look at the time?
Oh, good. See, oh, you can trust me. I have done you nothing wrong, and I've steered you all in the proper direction. So I say this, and I need you all to promise me that you will not get angry.
Not promising you anything,
We're well beyond anger.
especially when you start a statement with something like that.
So, my map isn't exactly like well put together, so I'm fairly certain I know where you are. I have there's like a 70% chance I know exactly where you are,
Well,
which is a passing grade.
that being the case, and Cadence is going to unhook one of the sonic grenades from their belt, and they're just gonna like toss it behind them about like a couple of yards, knowing that like if something such as Sobek is going to like crush it or something like that, it's going to go off. Like
Mhm.
it may not do damage or anything, but it will like something will happen, and that possibly will be like a hey, someone just messed with that. We need to move, kind of a thing.
I'll definitely notate that. Here, I can
So-
try something. And
As Nigma is sitting here having this, I'm 70% sure.
Mhm.
Can I take a moment to try and like mentally plot out, okay, here's where I was on the new map, here's where
Yep.
I went to in the semi-old map. We were in
Going-
the sewage area.
going through where the old map would be to where you are now, like in your mind, you're able to chart out you are more than likely in the bottom layer of the manor,
Okay.
which is on the east side of the island.
Okay.
But on that map, it doesn't list, like, even in that map, it didn't
Yeah.
list any details of, like, what's in here. It's just bottom layer of the manor.
Yeah, like cellars and things,
Yeah.
probably, maybe.
Yep. One moment. Source video. Source video 2? No. Video 2 is that thing. Video 1.
Why
Video-
would there be video in this
This
layer of
one
the manor?
hits a button, and you see the lights in where you are all come on at once. It worked as illuminating the bottom layer of the manor. You see a myriad of old cages and cells with plaques placed in front of them from when this place was first made, detailing who would have been in these cells. I think it worked. Our lights on.
Yes.
Good. I did that. That worked properly. Why is it video 4?
Why is it
Cadence
video
is gonna
only?
go inspect some of these plaques carefully.
The first plaque that you inspect, you can see the name written against it is actually, you see carved in over where the other writing is, you see Mad Dog. Behind it, you see inmate Mad Dog Vashon, incarcerated, carved out, like the incarceration date's carved out, um, written in, first prisoner of the asylum, uh, noted serial killer, murderer of, and the name's crossed out.
I see what you did there. That's I'm just gonna say that.
Mhm.
Next.
Beside that, I have to look up a very specific name because I put a name on here and I did not recall what it was. Where did my note go? Not there. Bam. You. Second one that you see is Amadeus Ayatunde, founder of the asylum, directly next to Mad Dog Vashon's cell.
Interesting.
Drifting through, the next one that you see, John Doe, also known as Hyena. You see on the walls of this cell a almost beautifully made ink-based painting of the skyline of Gotham with a smile drawn underneath it.
Well, well, this certainly has been fun. I really should be going.
And where is it you think you are going? Can't go back that way. Well, I suppose you could if you really wanted to, but since I can't tell you what to do.
Should be a door down through here somewhere. I can't really tell exactly on the map. Yeah, like it's just not the one behind you. I don't know where. This map doesn't have the door. Also, it's not electrically based, so I can't like mess with it.
It'll most likely be a cellar door. We'll need to find some stairs.
I just wanted to remind you that you told us not to be mad at you.
You're right.
About
And I
the lack-
promised nothing. So
Yeah.
you can just keep that in mind.
I've done nothing wrong.
Are we apologizing about the lack of knowledge, the lack of sight, or something else?
I have done nothing wrong in my life.
Yeah, and yet you are here.
If people are too stupid to get out of the riddles that I've designed for them, that's their fault.
So your only failing is being stupid enough to get caught.
Yeah,
Got it.
pretty much. And even that's not my fault. Listen, if this stupid bat person didn't get involved in this, I would probably be fine. And the world would be out some dumb individuals.
Mm. But it seems like there's someone smarter than you.
oh, oh, oh.
I'm just saying you're
Find the
in
door.
here. I'm just saying you're in here.
I'm aware. The mic peaks again.
You really
So-
shouldn't scream. It peaks the mic. I can't hear a thing.
No, scream louder. Maybe we'll be able to find you from the sound of your voice.
Or maybe.
Cadence is like scanning the other plaques as they're having this conversation. You
And-
don't necessarily need to like just know that that's what Cadence
Looking
is
at one of the
doing.
plaques, you see what looks like a rock bounce off one of the plaques from inside of the cell.
What is the name on the plaque?
The name on the plaque is of. Moment while I pull up a name. Sorry. The name on the plaque that you see is sorry. I have names and it's too many. Ayula Jibola. Another rock is thrown at the plaque from the other side of the cell.
Okay.
And then you see a hand with. You can see patches of white on this very dark hand kind of stretch out and just give a little wave.
Cadence doesn't say anything, is studying them at this point.
The hand kind of like notices you not moving, does a retreats back in, comes back out with a series of rocks, holds them out, and then kind of just drops one at a time onto the plaque. Runs out of rocks, does the back in, back out, rock, 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 rock.
Yes, you've made a friend.
Trying to think about if I know who this is.
And retreats back in.
For those of you who need audio, a game between Ayula and Q, just a game of rock, paper, scissors just struck out in Q1 with scissors over paper.
King's king for a reason. Well, this has been fun.
Sorry. While
Wow.
Cadence's thought is if this is an old abandoned part of like an old abandoned wing, how long has this person been in here? So he's looking to see if there's any other data other than just the name on the plaque.
If you're going to go ahead,
I was
what you were going to say.
gonna say real quick, while plaques are being looked at, game is being played, and even while conversation had been happening from Auspice, she was looking around for possible other exits. I'd say other exits. We're in a room full of cells. The other exits on the other side, but
I'm gonna get back to you on a thing real quick. As you're looking at the plaque, another. Would you think as a rock bounces off the plaque, but you see as it rolls around, you see a tooth? I'm starting to run out of things to throw.
Was that yours?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay.
Though then again, I don't know if these grow back.
No, that's not necessary.
Good to see that you made your way down here, King. As you see a familiar ragged cloak of purple kind of pushes its way through the bars, and a head smacks against the bar with the same blotchy facial pattern and a large rictus smile. As you can see, hyena inside of the cell.
You were supposed to be one. You're supposed to be over in that cell,
I got tired of
two,
that one.
and what are you? What's you doing here? What are you doing?
We visit an old stomping grounds.
Interesting. So you know.
Sorry, let's have a proper conversation. And you see him reach over and just undoes the door and opens it. Steps through.
just a little, boop, boop, just a little step back. Yeah.
So who's your friend then? Looking over to Cadence.
I don't know him.
What's your name then?
Cadence is, because I assume now that they know who this person is, they know who this person is.
Yes.
Cadence has got like a grip like on kind of like on like the lapel of their shirt, kind of just like this, but like what they're actually grabbing is like the knot that loosens the sound of silence. Like it looks like they're kind of just like resting their hand on like part of the like the light armor that they're carrying. and they go, uh, the hyena, interesting. They call me
Right.
Cadence.
Cadence. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. Now, if you're going to be trying to swing your little weapon at me, I'm sorry, you're liable to get us all killed. You know that, right? I'm not
He
here
knows
for
what.
any. I'm not here for any problems that you might be facing.
Oh, well, see, the problem with that statement is you know what you've done already.
Yes.
So, as I like to say, I'm going to put a pin in this for now. But
A lot of pins in that little casebook of yours, then.
oh, I'm removing them one by one. Do not worry. But
I bet you are. Moving back over, as you are exploring
Mhm.
to try to find another area, as you're passing by one of the, instead of bars, an actual glass-covered cell, you hear from the other side, "Hey, hey, Birdie," as a familiar, tight-fitting leather jacket and suit individual with a hat-like mask over their face places a hand on the glass cell and like taps it.
How did you get yourself stuck in there, kitty cat?
Heist gone a bit wrong.
Hmm.
I'm not too proud to admit that much.
And I have no reason to believe this is a hallucination, right?
No,
Because it's not scary in the slightest.
no, he looks bruised.
hmm.
Can
Do
I
me a f-
see from here how he got in here, or does
No,
it look like he got tossed in here?
it looks like he got put in there.
Okay.
You kind of see him move a hand over to where you can see a keypad. Mind just doing your magic and opening that?
Do you happen to know the code?
No, I don't. I don't suppose you might have like an idea.
Mm. Who put you in here?
Probably one of the doctors, I think.
How long have you been in here?
Times are really hard to tell down here because I can't see, you know, sunlight.
What day did you enter this asylum?
It seems to think about it. Tuesday, I think.
What day did Auspice enter the asylum?
Hey,
Also
Auspice.
Tuesday or
Yeah,
not?
yeah. Hey, Auspice, I
Okay,
have a role I want you to make for me.
cool.
I have to look at a specific character sheet. Insight's not really a thing, but one moment. You yes. Could you make me a perception?
Okay. And I apply good listener to this. It
Yes.
allows me to um
You may absolutely apply good listening.
okay. Uh-uh. Okay, hang on. I'm sorry.
You're-
I'm bad at math.
You're completely fine.
So right now that is a total of, making sure I'm not missing anything else, 15.
Observing him, you see streaks getting left behind from his gloves. That the gloves shouldn't be leaving streaks behind. They're designed to be inconspicuous. That and the bruising doesn't look right. The bruising's purple, but it's almost like it's just colored that way.
Maybe like a little bit of stage makeup, would you say?
Yes. And the moment that he seems to catch that you're realizing what it is, his facial expression kind of changes, and he just sort of gives a little half smile.
Aren't you interesting?
I try. It doesn't help when I don't know who the co-star is.
Well, you can't have much of a career in this glass box.
Was hoping to see if you could solve some of the other ones. I can find my way out just fine.
Hmm.
Do Cadence and King hear this conversation?
It's far enough away that you can probably hear Auspice talking to someone, but you can't
Okay.
hear the other person as they're through glass.
Okay.
Would the the cavalcade be upset for this man to be out and about?
I'm
Like, is that
Interesting
in
question.
gonna roll a
information?
die. I'll roll a die.
Hmm? Oh, okay.
They would only be upset because the concept of who this person is or was, they were important when they had a career. They no longer have that same career. They are no longer a famous actress. So more than likely their opinion of the matter is they are willing to be disposed of, but they don't have a high opinion.
But I wouldn't necessarily be breaking any rules to just let them run.
Correct.
I guess, what do I know of the crimes of this individual before I make this decision?
Corporate espionage, for one.
Okay.
They disguised themselves as several high-ranking business people of various types and defrauded a lot of companies.
Okay.
A stint of robberies, kind of the same variety of things. A couple murders on their belt, notably of a specific notorious makeup company who they blame for what has happened to them,
Okay.
and some RICO charges.
Not Rico. Oh no.
What charges?
Hmm?
Some what charges?
RICO charges.
Rico.
It's
sorry, not-
essentially what you would charge mafia with,
Okay.
racketeering and things like that.
Okay. None of those are enough reason for me to just, no, you just stay in here. So I think Auspice is going to take a crack at that keypad.
Go ahead and give me. And where did my character sheet thing go? Blip. That's not it.
Man,
There
Cadence
you
is
are.
so annoyed.
An intelligence check. And give me an intelligence check. And while that's going on, back over to Hyena, Cadence, and King, as Hyena kind of places a hand on Cadence's shoulder. So I know why. That one's here. What are you? What are you here for?
Is it not obvious?
What crime are you trying to solve then?
Listen, I know you in the sense that I know that you are quite perceptive, quite
Extremely.
intelligent.
Yes.
So when an asylum goes dark for a set period of time and they kind of just like trail off like a little bit, like not necessarily like playing the game, but like, come on, man. Like, you know,
The
like,
the smile
Why are we doing this?
the smile gets a little wider, and you see the eyes, what are already dark in the sclera, get a little darker.
to note, Cadence is letting the hand stay there.
You care that much about what happens to criminals in an asylum, even if it goes dark.
It would seem to be the case, wouldn't it?
That did not answer my question.
The way I see it, it answers it just fine.
Interesting. What do you think, King? Do you believe this one?
I mean, he did come all this way from not around these parts, so
Right, you smell of Metropolis.
that's why I don't like you.
Big, like there's a moment, there's an actual, like a long sniff sound. Just big city. Probably a nice fancy penthouse apartment then.
I would think you would know better than to sling assumptions around, no?
Fair enough. You're in a much more dangerous place now, friend. A much older place. You do well to mind some of the rules here. Which, what's your intelligence check?
It's a 15. Before I do or don't let out this individual,
Yep.
consider it a favor that you can repay very quickly.
You see their form change from looking like the one you're familiar with to a almost like old clay that seems to slough off a little. A much more feminine figure. You also see from the back, as the trench coat kind of flares out, a pair of wings form and then fold back in, still made of the same clay-like shape. I'll be sure to do that.
No, none of that. See, it's very simple. There's an annoying nuisance trying to play a game with all of us here.
Which one?
There's a lesser nuisance in green, no doubt, but
Oh,
the
Riddler.
one I am interested in thinks that you can turn fear into something controlled.
Oh, the doctor. Right.
I'll let you pick which one you deal with.
You gotta see them look at their hand, flex it. You can imagine that they are believing bones to be cracking in their knuckles, but there's no sound. Just have a bit of payback in mind for them. They unfortunately made whatever this is worse, as she takes a bit of the clay from her face, pulls it, and lets it drop, and as it does, it immediately, the clay on the ground moves back to them. And it doesn't help that they've enlisted Ivy to figure out how best to do this.
Who said they get to make all these decisions? And she presses the button.
As the gate begins to open, Hyena seems. It's almost as if his ears prick up, but his head just goes. Oh, right. There was another one. It's been a pleasure talking to you. By the way, if you happen to eventually meet the good doctor, if you could do me a kindness, try to leave them with only a modicum of broken bones. I still have need of them. Ta-ta. And he turns and just begins to, almost swaying, starts to walk down the hall. As you all can hear the sound of a glass door starting to slide open.
Cadence is giving thought to just like catching Hyena on the ankle before he gets out of range. Let's see. They don't do it. Flip a coin. Coin said no.
He takes a corner from one of the cells, and you no longer hear his footsteps as he vanishes out of sight from that corner.
I don't know what it is about him, but I don't like it.
Cadence knows well enough that the Hyena is like big player.
The Hyena is a known entity, not considered a criminal entity. The Hyena is a known, almost in the way of like a spirit. Metropolis has an idea of the Hyena and what the Hyena is, but their description of it is, yeah, if you see it, do something, but we don't know exactly what it is that he does. And the stories go a lot longer than when Gotham was around. So,
I
clearly a
bring-
threat,
Mhm.
unknown quantity.
I bring that up to say that like Cadence is going to keep his thoughts for now to himself, re the Hyena, because
Yeah.
he just turned a corner. It's not like he like vanished out of existence, you know? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Can he play his cards close to the vest? So he just kind of just like looks over and then just uh fully gives attention to whatever the glass door situation, because obviously that's loud. So like undoes the knot on the sound of silence, but doesn't pull it like away from his body yet. Like and is kind of just like turned full attention to and is moving slowly in the direction of this um door.
Did you make us a friend?
As Basilicarlo steps out of the cell and looks over to Auspice, and you see their form shift to completely resemble theirs.
I suppose imitation is a form of flattery.
I suppose so.
Right. So
How
we're
far?
looking for a way out.
Yes.
The cellar door leads up there. And she points to one of the halls further down, and you can see a grime-covered exit sign.
Well,
Hmm.
we should be going.
So Ivy is up somewhere in the manor grounds.
Greenhouse.
Right. That'd be a
Cadence just like
place to
puts their
hold.
hand out and then puts the finger, just like pushes it in, like putting a pin in this, like on yet another.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a doctor to go and visit.
And their eyes narrow when the doctor is mentioned.
As they start to go ahead.
No, that's it.
Okay.
Don't get controlled by the doctor.
I don't plan on as they lift their hand and you see their hand sharpen into an actual blade. I plan on it being a very short visit.
Clinical.
As they walk towards you, they don't seem like they're going to deviate from their path. But as soon as they look like they're about to collide with you, their body goes, it's like separates into a little doorway that moves around you and then closes back in.
And Cadence, sorry, not Cadence. You said Cadence, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, leave me alone. It's fine. It's a long day.
I feel like that was uncalled for. It was funny though. So we're gonna keep going. We're trying to find a way out.
Yep.
An exit, the exit sign, I suppose.
And the grime is different than the clay that we've just seen.
Yes, the grime just looks like grime of age.
Cool. Probably can't keep janitors employed in a place like this.
No, probably not. But as the door comes into focus, you can hear, although it's a little bit more muffled, you hear, "Hi, so for some reason, my radio got disconnected. Is everyone alive?"
No, we're
Floating
all dead.
moment.
There is
I'm
something
breathing.
so severely wrong with everyone's sense of humor.
Just mine.
Figured out where you all are on the map. So, and I'm no longer 70%, now it is 95. So it's an A.
You keep bringing up a grade. Do you need a cookie?
If you can find one in the cafeteria and then find my cell, that would be great. They took away my dessert privileges.
Why is that? Were you using them to bribe people?
I. Someone messed up the chess game I was having with Zaz, and I stabbed them in the neck with the pencil.
Poor baby.
I thought you
It's.
had questioned the kitchen staff's intelligence.
Yes. How dare you? People just need to learn how to walk properly. I mean, okay, so also I did bash someone's head into the table because they kept clinking their spoon against the side of the soup bowl. But seriously, learn how to use a spoon.
Right.
I'm beginning to think you genuinely have issues.
Beginning.
I'm not crazy. The rest of the world is crazy. I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's something a perfectly normal and sane person would say.
Thank you.
Gold star, A plus at being a normal human being.
So
Go
smart.
Of something achievable
go through the door.
and
So
desirable.
smart. So stupid.
Heard that. Go through the door.
I didn't say it quietly.
Oh.
Walking through the door.
So
And
the next level.
as the door opens and you all do find yourselves up at the next level, I think now's probably a good time for us to take a quick break, get some drinks, refreshment, bathroom breaks if we need it. We'll be back shortly.
Bye.
And we're back. Turning the page of the issue as we have entered into the next floor of the manor. Which for the first time, the stagnant air of medical wing and old building has faded away and is replaced with this beautiful, almost outdoor floral scent. As creeping along the walls, you can see plants kind of just growing in and along the walls. A lot of potted plants as well, seemingly overabundant in their growth, line this hall. Pollen is visible in the air.
You don't have allergies.
Cadence has learned. They actually like reach into like the area like around their neck, and they just like pull up something that looks like like very similar to King's mask, but it's like it's much more like much less stylistic, if you will. Like it's kind of just
Yeah,
like matte black.
like a filtration mask.
Yeah, but essentially, and they like just like kind of like do a thing. They kind of like tie behind their head, and then so like you really all you can see is like Batman animated series esque like white eyes in the mask now.
Have you had that the whole time?
Well, you have a fight or two with a couple of enemies who enjoy trying to kill people with smoke and such, and you learn a few things.
Smart. Well,
I try.
let's see if we can get out of here quickly.
Yeah, the hallway should. The radio again seems static and starts to go out.
Well, who's surprised?
It would be very funny if it's the plants that are taking his electronics.
I would not be surprised.
Not at all.
The hallway, though part of the manor, does still seem to contain a few cells, though these cells are much more seemingly designed to just house less dangerous criminals, or those that have earned the privilege to have nicer cells. Um, you see one of them that a plant is growing through some of the bars, is wrapping around. You see scattered on the floor of the cell a series of calendar dates that have just been like planted and slapped everywhere along the cell floor.
Nice.
No, no, no.
Well, if poison ivy is who we're meant to run into, let's not exacerbate that, no?
Oh, ideally, I don't go talk to Ivy at all.
I mean, ideally, we wouldn't have run into a lot of the things that we run into, but between the good doctor, the hyena, Clayface, and the Riddler looking up, being like,
Big
and they
question.
say it kind of like pointedly, not at all like directed at King, but kind of just like this person has been listening in the past, so like it seems that we are just going to run through the veritable rogues gallery before getting to our destination.
On the one hand, Auspice is, thinking greenhouses aren't over there. I don't have to go into them if I don't want to. But we're seeing these plants growing in the manor itself, so it's like, oh, you're not even. I can't even try and argue that. So
You do see
Just
that
a
as the
little nod.
plants seem to be growing everywhere, there is a point where they seem to grow around one of the doorways. Like, oh, they don't go here.
troubling.
Right. Who's? Is there someone in there?
Hey, Cadence,
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
can you give me a perception check?
Oh,
Mm-mm.
Sure.
Mm-mm.
As soon as I remember where my dice roller is, there we go.
Because you have some special ears.
I do. Do I add any? Yeah, I do. It's a 17 total.
Along where the plants are not growing, you can hear music, operatic music,
Mm-hmm.
distant, but you can hear it, and somebody humming along to the sound.
Okay. Can I get a handle on like the direction, or do I just
Uh,
hear it?
it is so where the plants grow, they seem to take over like the where the hall separates into two. They continue to grow there. The music is coming from the door that leads down, where the plants refuse to grow.
Uh, out loud. Interesting.
Will you share?
They put their finger up like uh they're going to look at Auspice and King and just kind of go like basically just like and move forward, and they're gonna kind of crouch low and move in the direction of the music.
Sneak
And they're not
mode.
going all the way to the door, but they're trying to get like close enough to like hopefully that they can start hearing it.
Not gonna have you do that roll yet because I'm gonna be able to hear anyway. As all of you now get closer to the door, all of you can begin to hear and pick up on this music, this opera. And you can hear somebody singing along to it. Partially. They match the tone, but every couple bits, it almost sounds like they falter.
Like like they're listening to some NWA, but they're white, so they're just like, no, I'm
It's,
kidding.
it's less that and more like when they pick up that their voice doesn't hit that high, another sound interrupts it.
Fair. And
I
then
did,
looks
You know, I
back at his
can
compatriots to be like,
Cadence
gonna-
will once more drop into sign language to any thoughts?
who is that? It's just in the side. Who is that? Yeah.
they are going to pick one of their silencing grenades up off their belt, and they're going to toss it like so that the bubble, like they're trying to do like the math in their head of like the bubble should reach like right over the door, like it should just overlap the door, so like anything that like happens, if they were to open the door, it wouldn't make a sound, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah, as you kind of like place the grenade as to where it will be, there's that deafening sound, this like almost a light inner ear ringing, but you could tell that this is how it's silencing the noise and what this door is going to do. You all can still pick up on the operatic notes, though, just outside of the bubble.
And Cadence is going to step in and move towards the door.
With the use of this grenade, I want you to give me a dexterity check. If you have way of stealth, you can utilize the thing with it. But with advantage, I want you to give me a dexterity
I
check.
do have a way of stealth.
Cool. Add that to that and give me a dex check with advantage.
Okay. It's a 24.
Okay. The door, you could tell, would have been old and would have creaked with the silencing grenade and your knowledge of how stealth works. You are able to push the door open enough that it doesn't let out a creaking sound. And you can see on the other side this overly cleaned stairwell that goes down and opens into a concrete almost floor with a cage that you can see in front, and you can see a shadow of somebody moving back and forth, a large figure moving back and forth in that shadow.
Okay. Is there like a light source of any kind like in the room?
In the room that the person is moving, you can see what looks like a series of large fluorescent lights that are illuminating to make this shadow appear. But down the stairwell, there are no lights.
Okay.
No, hold on.
I was gonna
No,
say, 'cause
there
I
is.
have
Yes, there is.
I have
Down the
night
st-
sight.
Sorry, down the stairwell there are lights. They are pink fluorescent lights that go down the stairwell on the sides of the stairs.
Okay, because I have night sight, so if there's a dim source of light, I can see well in the dark up to 30 meters. So, like, I, in theory, may be able to see who this shadow belongs to.
Yes.
So seeing that the lights are pink fluorescent and
Mhm.
hearing the operatic music and kind of sort of knowing who's who in this town, can Cadence get an idea of who this might be down there?
Give me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Ospa's trying to steal my identity now. Okay.
Dang. Sorry, I keep saying Cadence. I don't know why, because that is your name.
Teehee.
That is unfortunately only a 12 total.
You don't actually know on this one.
Okay.
There's a few criminals that have a flair for the dramatic, but this one is not ringing any bells.
I've been around for a little while.
Give me an intelligence check.
Heck yeah. That is 17.
There's a couple that are coming to you. The thing that's giving you the clue is the opera. You have been hearing stories of people being found strung up on some of the Bowery buildings. The only way that they've been found was the sound of opera music being played from speakers beside them.
Mm.
Above them or below them were written failure, rejected, too, like, not right. The bodies are unable to be identified because their fingerprints were burned off. Their faces were so heavily disfigured that they couldn't identify by facial features. And they were essentially just surgically altered. The person that had been doing this had been given a name by the public, which was the Good Doctor. But there is no clear name for this individual.
Mm. Mhm.
Until an arrest was made at a local doll maker's facility.
Mm. Mhm.
A Lucchese Valentino. Although he preferred a different name. Pig. Pyg.
Big.
Eight. Sorry, I peeked my own mind. Pig.
Big.
Oh. Going to try and get Cadence to come back because we don't want to mess with that guy.
Yeah, as you can hear from this opera, he's singing along, but as the notes get too high, you just hear him like,
Mm.
Cadence is going to move backwards and like mentally keeping track of like how much time they've got. He's moving semi quickly, so he's like,
That's an animal down there that's known to be a butcher. If we don't have to deal with it, I would rather not.
I'm also going to utilize I'm going to exploit the fact that the door is still kind of like like enough in the
Soundproofed.
bubble that I'm going to close the door behind, like close the door again,
Yep.
and just do a little bit of just working their hands a little bit as if they're typing on something. And then they're gonna go back up the stairs.
Keep moving forward.
You can hear, as you're typing out, you hear on a communicator that's been given to you that's probably still attached to your mask in a sense, just so you're able to hear this. In case you, Valentina, Professor Pig, a unfortunate man who is apparently part of a cabal of sorts, a roving group of criminals. Lucchese sees imperfection in everything and thus wants to make everything perfect. Unfortunately, his idea of perfection is different from everyone else's. Except he shouldn't be here. I'd had him sent to a different asylum not too far from this place. Why was he moved here? A moment. You hear typing.
Mm.
He was transitioned over here. Why would Strange want him here? Huh. We'll have to look more into that.
Cadence just types back, starting to get a picture. We'll report later.
Keep me posted.
And then
In the meantime, I've sent you something that you might want to look into about one of your companions. It'll be attached to the document folders on your device.
they just send a period.
The communication cuts off.
All right. Well, 3, 2, 1, and then it just the grenade just like gives up. uh, and they keep their voice low regardless and go, well, we've established we're not going that way. So anyone else have ideas?
Upwards is outwards.
There are two paths where the plants grow. One you assume leads to the outside of the manor, the other leads deeper into the manor.
Are we going deeper in, or do we want to go out? Out might give us a chance to breathe.
From Auspice's understanding of the layout, would there be any benefit to going deeper into the manor if we're looking for either the holding cells Nigma is in or wherever?
Deeper into the
Nigma
manor
might
would be where the Nigma's holding cell probably is. Since Nigma doesn't seem to be somebody that they have like too much of a care about being in there, he's probably in the more like specialized wing. Outside would be Ivy, because that would lead to the greenhouse.
For now, I suppose the question is, do we go to this Riddler, or do we go seek the greenhouse? Because that will be the case if we go outside.
Well, we have received help from the questioner thus far.
There's radio static, but no response. Just this.
It does not get old.
That's the deal with the Riddler. If they have some sort of access over this place, one, we may want better access to that, and two, would be a hindrance if they think we are abandoning them, as it were.
I suppose
Abandoning anyone.
they may
Just
see it
might-
as such.
Be better to clear the space out a little bit. She doesn't have powers after all.
Doesn't make them any less dangerous.
No, but this is a case of would they want to be running around in Gen Pop with everybody else and their sharp, sharp teeth? Or would they like to stay relatively safe in a box? And I would like to make it note that Auspice is saying this as, in a pointed fashion of, hey, this is for you listening. Do you want to be out here with us?
There is another burst of static. No response that can be picked out of the static.
I will defer to both of you.
I want to meet the Red-Line person.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
It's like a little quick static thing, as if they were like about to say something happy, just like
More
Funny.
importantly, I don't want to meet this Ivy. So, further into the mines then.
Further in.
So yeah, we're gonna head on in there.
leaving behind the unplanted door. Moving
Mhm.
further in along the manor's halls. It seems like a lot of this place hadn't been changed from before when it was initially constructed. You still see the massive paintings of the original Ayatunde family. Notably, Amadeus Ayatunde and his mother seem to dominate most of the paintings. There does not seem to be any of children. There is a painting of a beautiful looking woman, but to see the name has been removed from the painting. A statue, sneeze. A statue also down the hallway you can see is of the same, seemingly the same woman, except the head of the statue has been placed at her feet. And you see etched in, again, where the name would be, you see Mad Dog.
Interesting. Well,
What?
The radio starts to pick up again, just, I think your plants making difficult.
stop talking.
I picked up some of
Shh.
you.
No. Hmm.
So
The
the
radio-
Ayatunde family were a pillar of the community at some point.
Yes.
What is publicly known about the family?
Publicly, Amadeus Ayatunde, founder of the Ayatunde Institute for the Criminally Insane, founded the facility after his wife, name currently unknown to public record, was murdered by Mad Dog Vachon. He founded this facility initially as a prison, purely to get Mad Dog into the prison, to rehabilitate. The story, publicly, is that the rehabilitation he thought was successful until he released Mad Dog, in which case Mad Dog proceeded to kill 3 more people, was rearrested, re-put into the facility, and essentially put into the bottom of the manor. Ayatunde is believed to have also gone insane, as he did murder Mad Dog Vachon in the facility and was placed in a prison cell directly next to Mad Dog Bashan's prison cell.
So that's the public record.
Yes.
What is the less public record?
What the cavalcade knows. Ayatunde was always insane. The belief is that Ayatunde was one of the few people who knew of the existence of a very specific mineral deposit that, when exposed to water, creates a rejuvenating elixir. He knew of this because his family, the Ayatunde family, partook of this elixir, which extended their lifespans. Fortunately, it has a side effect. This elixir, ingested several times, causes the decay of the mind. Ayatunde's mother was actually the first one to be placed into the asylum, though at the time it was still the manor. She was barricaded in her own room as she was becoming as Ayatunde put it, a threat to herself and others. The death of his wife due to Mad Dog accelerated the process of his mental decay. The story that he was imprisoned in that cell is not necessarily untrue, but he did not kill Mad Dog before he was put into the cell. They actually were beside each other the entire time. Ayatunde, however, did not die in that prison cell. The cavalcade believes that he escaped, but before that point, he would leave cryptic etchings and markings on his cell and throughout the asylum that were telling of his story as a way to perpetuate his legacy. The cavalcade has no idea where he ended up. Though, if he no longer has access to the elixir, he would be well over 148 years old. They fully believe that he is dead.
Fascinating.
I'm going to do something real quick. Yeah, she's also of a mind that he is probably dead.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's troubling that this Mad Dog and these etchings are
The
they
belief
fresh?
No, the belief
Okay.
is that in his psychosis, any things that he saw that reminded him of his wife, he reenacted her death on them. To the point that he would then remove placards with her name. And the statue, he broke the head off of the statue because that was how he had found her.
Okay.
So these are
Kind of museum
memories.
pieces.
Yes, these are pieces for him, essentially. That the asylum essentially has said, all right, we're not fixing this.
An interesting decision.
Through one of the halls, you can hear the sound of wood clattering a little bit, just like as if something is moving around a little. Oi, somebody out there? I can hear you moving around. Hush, boss, it's okay. They're probably just the guards coming back, right? Don't be stupid, blockhead. Ain't no guards coming out around here. Hey, who's out there? Show yourself. And you see a wooden Tommy gun stick out of one of the cells. Oi, show
knew
yourself
that.
right now.
Yeah, knew it immediately and absolutely not.
Can I use the sound of silence to hit that wooden Tommy gun out of the hand that is sticking out?
Absolutely. I'm not even going to make you roll for that. As you
Okay, cool.
swing and you strike it, and it goes clattering away, and you also see a pair of wooden hands follow with it. Just, oh, what the hell? You just go swinging a weapon around willy-nilly like that?
You quite literally pointed a gun at us. And he says it a little bit tongue in cheek, knowing like the gun was harmless, but like Come on, man.
I practice good trigger discipline.
Looking at the hands on the gun, disagree.
Just what I get for talking to you blockheads.
To be fair, you did start with the weapons first.
You gotta be protecting yourself around here. You know how many crazies are out here?
Well,
You'll have to.
You are the one here.
I know where I is and where I isn't.
Cadence absolutely does the gym in the office stare at the like fourth wall break.
Inside of the cell, you can see a ventriloquist doll with a bald head, gray wooden skin, wearing a pinstripe suit, a clear gold tooth in the mouth, and a etched-in scar over one of the eyes, being held by a blonde-haired, sheepish-looking woman wearing a business suit, looking a little disheveled. As she physically is cowering by the cell door. The ventriloquist doll is against the cell.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to pardon the boss. He's a little on edge.
Is that so?
The boss? You are. Wait. You are.
She gestures.
You are.
So I'm the brains of the outfit. What, you looking down on me? You looking down on me because I'm small? Is that it? Huh, tough guy? If I had my gun, I'd...
Physically, you are lower than me, and I'm short. So, not down, just sort of down.
The ball sweeps around to look over to the ventriloquist. Can you reach your stupid hands over and grab my hands and reattach them? I can try the... I'm not that... Arms aren't that long.
Listen, hold on. And Cadence strides over and picks up the hands and the wooden Tommy gun off the ground.
You'd be ever so kind to give me my hands back. That would be great.
He's going to ignore the boss and look at the ventriloquist instead and go, listen, can I trust you with these? Are you going to be responsible with them, or do I need to take them with me?
I'll try to make sure that the boss doesn't do anything rash. They took away the bullets of the gun, so there should be no way to fire it.
I want to inspect this gun now.
It is a wooden Tommy gun. It is a wooden Tommy gun. There's no
right,
way
but
for
like,
bullets
can
to
it
be
actually?
put in.
But does it look like it can actually fire?
It looks like it can shoot rubber bands. It doesn't look like there's any mechanism for it to shoot actual bullets.
Okay.
However, how the hands look, it looks like the hands are designed to grip an actual gun. So what's more than likely was the thing is that they just took the gun and she managed to make a wooden one to appease the boss.
Okay. I see. I'm going to take the hands and give her the gun.
Hold on. You're gonna hold on to his hands, but you're giving her just the gun?
Just not permanently. I just want to. I want to see what happens if I hand her the gun but keep the hands.
She gingerly takes the Tommy gun. The ventriloquist dummy looks to her, looks to you, looks back to her, looks back to you. What the hell am I supposed to do with a gun and no hands?
Think about it real hard. Think about it real hard.
Ling's body, zoot suit, flapping around like Kermit the Frog, looks over to Auspice. What are you looking at?
You do understand you are a dog.
I'm sorry? The boss doesn't like the D word.
A ventriloquist dummy.
A what now? You
Everyone's
calling me a
doll.
dummy?
Oh,
Do I look like some sort of clown to you? Is that what you think I look like?
No, you look
You
like
know-
a dog.
I am kind of tempted to give him his hands back now. You can't just go around calling people things like that. That's
He's a dog. He is made of wood. He's being held by another person.
And we met a man who
You-
disappeared from a cell.
you can't see Cadence's face, but if you could,
He's like,
full I'm cringing. Like,
You-
"Ooh, I don't know, man. I
Oh,
wouldn't know."
Oh.
so we are just no longer calling things what they are.
Oh, he can be a doll, but that doesn't mean he is not a person.
I didn't say he wasn't. I didn't say he wasn't a
The
person.
disrespect
said-
I have been given today. I'm in a cage. What more do you want to take from me?
I've taken nothing away from you. In fact, I've added. If we're being honest.
Can I? Looks over to Cadence. Can I have my hands back?
What you gonna do? Choke me?
I'm thinking about it, but I'm behind a cage door.
Right. So maybe you should think about who you're speaking.
Can I stealth give this doll his hands back?
Give me a dexterity check. King, give me a perception check.
Would love to. Would love to do that. Oh no. Well, okay. New D20.
Uh,
It fell away. I didn't want that one
Oh
anyway.
boy. Is
I'm
I think
waiting.
I think I've asked this before. Is your dice bag a Crown Royal bag?
I got one of those.
Yeah.
Full of dice.
I
There we
also have a rainbow dice bag, but it's all the way over there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not grabbing that. So my
Black history of
Yes.
my perception was a dirty 20.
nice.
My stealth was a 21.
Ah.
I was like, I don't know, man. I might not get this one even at a 21, but just over.
So close.
King, you're paying attention, but the way that the ventriloquist is moving around is getting a little distracting. And Cadence, you do manage to hand over the hands over to the ventriloquist themselves, who graciously takes it with her other hand and begins to see her like trying to fiddle them around to refit around the Tommy gun before she like spins around, using her hand to like pull the boss away as if he's trying to physically fight her to come back over to King. Just one moment, boss. His head peeks over her shoulder. I swear to you, I'm gonna get out of here and I'm gonna get you. It's gonna happen.
Listen, no. No.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Are you ashamed of what you are?
It's not what I am. Listen, I am
Hey.
a remarkable crime boss. I have run a gracious family that unfortunately they are not here right now, and
Which is why you're in the predicament you're in. So again, I'm going to say no. Or I will take the hands again. Do you understand?
you see him like the doll's like lifting up and down as if it's breathing. She turns back and like keeps the doll behind her.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, we haven't had our therapy sessions in a long while. So, and he has some anger issues. So we're trying. It's just
Listen,
been
this
really
is
difficult.
I understand this is not a substitute for your therapy sessions. It is a warning.
Understood. I will pass the message along to the boss
No,
as
no,
soon as
no.
yeah,
And
yeah.
their eyes, like they move their head to shift, looking directly at the boss. It is a warning to you. I was gracious enough to give you your hands back. I will not do so a
Alright.
second time.
All right, I understand that sometimes voids can be hurtful, and I need to understand and watch my tone with people. That is what we have been working on in the therapy sessions.
Now, my compatriots and I are going to leave. And if I hear anything about you, I will make the trip back from Metropolis. I promise you that.
You see he's about to retort something, thinks better about it. Got you. Where y'all going?
Out.
Eventually
I
out.
could assume that much. It's nobody wants to be in here forever. Like, well, some people do, but they're crazy. I think this place is awful.
Yeah, but
Did
not you.
Start here.
Oh
Not you.
no, like I'm here because I have done despicable things to other
No,
people.
no,
I
no.
fully
I know why you're
understand
in
that.
prison.
Yes.
I know why you're in prison.
Yes.
Did you start at this facility?
Oh, me? No. I'm from a much better place than this, doll.
And they
Oh, so
brought
it's
you
okay
here.
if you call other people as dolls.
It
Other
is a
people-
term of endearment.
Then why can't it be for you?
It because there's connotations with me.
No, it's just
think I
outright
understand.
statement of fact. I don't understand.
You bring up an interesting question, though. Why were you transferred here?
That's a good question. See, I was initially over in the prison in Bloodhaven.
I know
Don't
of it.
don't rightly know what it's called, but I was there. Then I and a bunch of other goons got transferred over here. Supposedly, it's because some fancy pants new doctor wanted to try some different cure-alls on me, and also had another shrink get put in here, but she's terrifying.
Off the rails.
Yes. But this fancy pantsy person, I liked them kinda, but they were getting super up into my head, which, don't quite appreciate.
What's the name of this doctor?
Strange, yeah, Strange. His first name, I don't know. I didn't get on a first name basis with it.
Oh, that's strange.
Professional courtesy and the like.
Rings a bell.
Mm. She had a bunch of us transferred over here.
Interesting.
Then had the doctor over from Germany get transferred over here too. Said that they had remarkable promise or whatever. Then and then also transferred over the intern from Bloodhaven to work over with that doctor. Quinn something. Poor kid.
Oh
We're
yes,
familiar.
we met him. He is
Oh,
unfortunate.
he's still alive? I thought he'd been eaten by now. That's
Well-
that's great.
Last we saw, but
The night is still young.
well, I think we should continue on in our quest to find some of these others. But you sit tight. I'm sure once this is all resolved, you will be returned to your original space and such.
Got you.
Don't go anywhere.
I don't intend to at the present time. You
I'm gonna
all have a good walk, I guess.
spray over the door,
Well,
like above the door.
all right.
Uh-huh. It's just gonna say hello, Dolly.
It's just
I'm gonna let that one
sees
go.
sees this
I'ma let
sees
that one
that
go.
sees that happen. Doesn't see what you're spraying, but you do hear him like as you're walking away. Just what did he write? I can't see. I can't. You hear like wood moving and there's like I can't. You gotta tell me what I can't stick my head out through the bars. You're useless. You know that as that fades into the background as you all continue to walk.
Be nice to your assistant.
And
And King's just gonna keep going.
further down.
Hmm.
Possessed toy. Probably.
Ah. Further down the halls, the radio begins to come back on, but you don't hear Riddler over the radio this time.
Uh-oh.
Over the radio, you just hear 1, 17, 3, 3, 7, 9, 1, 3, 3. These numbers repeat.
Can you go one more time? 117.
1, 17, 3, 9, 1, 1, 3.
And one more time.
1, 17, 3, 9, 1, 1, 3.
Interesting.
Now, what do those numbers mean?
Dang, that's not really Cadence's strong suit, is figuring out that kind of stuff, but he's gonna give it a shot anyway.
You should make me an intelligence check.
That was the
It will be a hard one.
I figured as much.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
It's a flat 16.
Oh yeah, that's a 22.
Flat 16. Hard to say anything on the flat 16. It sounds like a code of some variety, but nothing scratching the surface of what you can think of.
Okay.
For the higher roll, it does sound like a code, but what it could be
Mm-hmm.
is a radio channel, an old school tuning device.
Mm. Do you have a radio? Any sort of communication?
I do not.
I don't think because Cadence is not Abati. Like they don't have a gadget for everything.
No, but the communication device that she gave you in order to talk directly to
Right.
her can
that-
function. It can function for that.
Okay. But they're kind of like, do I reveal that,
Yeah.
that card kind of a thing?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they're gonna do it. I think they just
Oh, no radio. I think that code was tuning. You could get that
Okay.
channel.
they're gonna wait until they get a moment that they can be inconspicuous, and then they're gonna follow along on that. But they're not gonna reveal the the direct line to Abati to these two.
Well, speaking of a moment of inconspicuousness, moving through the halls, you come across what seems to be another point of a place between, where this is a stopping point for the guards before they can move on to more of the holding cells. You see some seats. Unfortunately, you also see some guards arranged on the seats, seemingly posed. It appears that Zaz has made their way through here at one point.
Unfortunate.
They are arranged in front of a table. Each of them are holding a dead man's hand and cards.
How unfortunate.
Are there signs of anyone else having been through here recently?
There are footprints of bare feet that have been left on the floor that have a trail of moss that has grown over where the footprint has landed, seemingly leading out from the holding cells.
Okay. That is very interesting because why would Ivy have been in those cells?
Good point. But I would imagine that, like, with what we know about Ivy, is that nah, never mind. Couldn't follow the logic on my own train of thought there.
Well, actually, picking up on that thread, Ivy is known as an eco-terrorist.
Yes.
Ivy is known to have developed some strange something or another.
Yes.
So it does not make sense for Ivy to have been held in the low security part of the prison.
Yes. If anything, Ivy would have been held in a similar level of maximum security as Sobek.
So I guess these footprints are leading out,
Out.
but not
Seemingly
in.
towards where the greenhouse would be. Yes.
Mm.
Not in. These are leading out of where these cells are.
Who the warden should have been in charge of those sorts of decisions. But that makes no sense.
Mhm.
Hospice is not happy with this information at all. Cadence.
Yes.
This place went dark. You heard of it and came here, or you were told after?
Can you clarify what you mean by that? Because they seem similar to me.
If you heard of it before coming to Gotham,
Correct.
that is very different than, say, coming to Gotham for some reason and then hearing about it. When did you hear about it? Or rather, when did those of Metropolis hear about this asylum?
I'm waiting for something to finish rolling in the background. It's taking forever.
No
Okay.
worries.
I was here for an unrelated reason.
So you happened upon this.
Well, I mean, by being here already, I'm sure you all know people talk.
This is not
So
a
I wouldn't say
question of
I-
what you are doing here. It is a question of time. Please answer.
I was here in Gotham when I heard about it.
And that was a day, 2 days, a week.
Oh, when was that conversation, Javante, between Abati and
Would have been
Earlier today?
earlier today,
that's what I thought.
early morning.
So I'm going to I arrived here yesterday
And you heard of it here and not.
in
That is
Metropolis. That's correct.
promising, I suppose.
Were
How
you
long ago did news of the asylum going dark come out?
The news of the asylum going dark, it's not that long. It
Like,
hasn't really done public, but
okay. But in the
yeah,
various circles, it's gone out.
yes.
Okay. Would Auspice know about how long ago it was estimated that it went dark, or at the very least, when the warden allegedly left?
No, because the thing is that according to the asylum going dark, there's no actual news of the warden having left.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
That's concerning.
Part of where the problems arise is that no communication has gone out, including the warden.
Okay. Good. I'm asking these questions to get my understanding of the big situation.
Mhm.
all tracks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, right. It's only been recent. Is it known when the current warden was supposed to take over slash was like I feel like news of, hey, you're gonna be in charge of a place like this
That was about a couple months ago when he was told
Okay.
that he was like the new official warden. Granted, he'd been making plays to become mayor, so that's also where a lot of news started to hit.
Okay.
Mm.
And the name of that warden is.
Pulling that up now because I did
Thank you.
type that. Demike Belinda, sorry.
Okay. Making plays to be a mayor. It was put in charge of this place. It has imploded horrifically.
Mm.
Oof. Anything known about his I can't proclivities as far as like, is he in someone's pocket? Is he not in someone's pocket?
Keeps to himself, according to the Cavalcade, keeps to himself a lot. The Cavalcade has sent people to check up on him. A lot of them come back that he seems to be a little overly obsessed with work. Um, Maybe a little too infatuated with the idea of cleaning the city of crime to a point of they view it as it might be dangerous, but only
Okay.
because he will overwork himself, but nothing overt.
Nothing to the extent of, oh, yeah, he might turn on us.
No, they
Okay.
view him as like he is a problem because he might overtax himself.
He's a hazard to himself.
Yes.
Okay.
They fear the Wayne family a lot more than they fear him. Because the Waynes actually have like public perception.
Cool.
Or had
And this
public
guy
perception.
more or less is a nobody who has
This guy is
aspirations.
the thing that they are most curious of is that he showed up out of nowhere. Because
Okay.
he's not from Gotham, but he was pushed into this position from seemingly nothing. But like, okay, well, he has the credentials, but where did he come from?
How long has Strange been a quantity known?
Strange was only known initially in Bloodhaven. She became a known face close to around the same time that Demike started to have feelers get put into here because he employed her to help with Ayatollah Institute. And it was then that a lot of her papers started to get published.
Interesting. Very interesting. Troubling. And elsewise was not somebody that the cavalcade was like, that's something we need to keep an eye on.
The Cavalcade tried with Strange.
Oh.
The thing that makes Cavalcade interested is that Strange then contacted them after they tried.
Ooh.
Very interesting.
Strange apparently figured out who the Cavalcade was by one interrogation.
Oof.
Very
That's
interesting.
scary.
So their eyes on Strange are that's somebody that we need on our pool because they're very good at what they do.
Oh.
So far, Strange has not reciprocated, but is willing to help as long as their stuff gets left alone.
Okay. Oof. Big oof.
You have met Strange. So, a couple things you know about them. A, they're very fastidious, to the point of being a little too put together. The other is you always got a strange sense that whenever you talked with her, she knows more than she's telling you. Like, she's picking up on stuff that you're saying that you didn't even realize you were letting go of. But she just seems more fascinated by the info.
Fascinating.
Okay. Someone who likes to know for knowing's sake.
Yes.
And that's a problem in and of itself because we don't know the motives. Okay. I think Auspice will share for, Cadence's sake. And I mean, if King's interested, it's in the air, it's in the open. The
It's always good for them to know, but they're just kind of looking for ways out. this point.
Yeah. Just the information that current warden only came in a few months ago. Came in at the same time as Strange. Strange is the head of the doctors and such here, so would have been in charge of bringing in Crane,
Mhm.
in theory.
Yes.
However, the warden's activities make no sense in the standpoint of keeping people in. Don't know who or what was really running the show, but I suspect.
There's a loud crunch of an apple as over by the one of the windows overlooking the rest of the island from this little waiting area. Apple from the ceiling falls onto the ground. You see just like the core just roll.
Can I help you?
I was just fascinated by your conversation. As on the chandelier, slowly rotating, you can see Hyena just lounging against it.
You again. You're still here.
I never left.
And I know, but I meant here, like in our general vicinity.
I never left.
You know what, fair?
Also, I didn't make one of your acquaintances. As you see them slink back and points over to what might your name be?
I don't have one.
Your Monica then.
I can be contacted via auspice. That is a name I
Auspice.
will come to.
Understood. They call me the hyena.
I know what they call you.
Starting to piece together the puzzle. Slowly rotating around. I reach into their ragged cloak and pull out another apple.
What do you get out of this?
Enjoyment. Fun. Chaos.
Just a bit of a laugh.
Just a bit of a laugh. He crunches a little bit. I was feeling a little bit screw loose, so I ended up checking myself into this place, and I discovered some interesting things.
Very interesting things, clearly.
Extremely.
So
You
why
have
do
a
you
frequent
about...
flyers card? Your name is on the plaque. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
That's it. Do you have a frequent flyers card?
Whenever life gets a little bit too stagnant, I always find it refreshing to come back to the old stomping grounds.
Is that why your name is on the plaque?
Yeah. That would be the case.
Well,
The chandelier starts swinging the other way.
well. I was gonna do what we discussed, but with a very large, angry crocodile man in the way.
Ah, so big.
Yes, you say that with such fondness. I do not have the same fondness.
He's just a good old friend of mine. I suppose he's a friend of mine. He does not think the same way, but that's fine.
Well, then I suppose I can't get you to tell him to leave me alone.
Probably not.
Unfortunate. Well, I am currently rethinking of the going outside part.
He unhooks his legs from the chandelier and falls. You see him only right himself a couple seconds before he hits the ground, and he makes no noise as he lands on his feet.
What do you get out of changing what's happening here?
Cadence is studying that bit. that's where they're at. They're not like they're further like they're kind of staying in the background here, but they're the no noise thing fascinates them.
What do you mean? What do I get out of changing anything?
You came here, you found some interesting things. You
That's
shared
correct.
this discovery in your own way, but why?
Do I have to have a reason?
I suppose not. Just curious.
That's the thing with so many of you. You all keep looking for reasons for things. As if stuff has to make any sense. As he tilts the apple, and you can see that instead of an apple core inside, you see an orange. Stuff doesn't need to always make sense. Nothing needs to always have a reason. He tosses it into the air, catches it in the other hand, and you see it's now a strawberry.
See, that should make sense, but it does not.
Exactly.
Man,
Hmm,
We don't always need explanations for things for what brings us enjoyment.
now that makes sense.
You've been looking at me for quite a while now, Cadence, as his whole body
Oh no,
tilts back.
Cadence is not looking at the hyena.
Mm.
They are like they're like
Off.
internally studying
Mm.
what just happened. They're not like staring
Yeah.
though. They know
Just
better.
tilts.
They know
Yeah.
better to call attention to themselves right now. So like they're not they're like in the they're like a background NPC character that is like with the party, but like not really like looking at what everyone else is focusing
Their
on.
whole
It's a
body
cutscene and
just,
it's just a guy staring at the wall.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just looks back to look over to Cadence. Something on your mind?
Just over here putting the pieces together.
If you solve the puzzle, do let me know. His arms reach back and he places them onto the ground, flips up onto his hands, and then rewrites himself.
Oh, I get the feeling you'll be notified.
I have my ways of finding out. Speaking of ways of finding out, he walks over to the table, reaches again into his coat, and sets down a cassette recorder with a tape inside of it. In case you all wanted that. He heads back over to the window and begins to fiddle with it. Like, flicks the latch up and down.
Something wrong?
it was a recording. I suppose we should play the recording.
If you want to. Pushes the window open. Ah,
What does that window look out to?
it looks out to majority of the island, but you can also see Gotham proper outside of the window.
Gotcha.
You are, however, a story up.
Sure, that's not a problem for me. Well, I think you were going to go save the Riddler.
Save is a strong word.
I actually agree in this sentiment.
Free the Riddler.
I might be
What?
convinced to open a door.
Where did I put... Oh, right. You have it. Puts over to Auspice. One moment. Starts to walk over to her. To them.
Hmm?
Reaches behind your ear and retracts their hand back, and you see as they pull it back, they press down, and a staff seems to elongate and sets it down. He leans against it. Thank you for holding on to that for me.
A strange, strange thing. Enjoy your night.
You as well. as he takes a step, foot goes out the window, and you see his body just.
Play the tape.
Yeah, gonna play the tape.
Over the tape, you all hear a voice that one of you recognizes as the voice of Miss Strange speaking to someone. We are going to embark on a very important journey, you and me. Which is why I need you to focus. These nightmares you've been having of this waking up here in the manor. Tell me about them. You hear a voice a little bit deeper in intonation and a little jittery. I find myself in the master bedroom, my blanket covered in blood. I wander down the halls. I can hear a dog barking somewhere, and I see my wife, but I am unmarried. Strange. I don't know what I am seeing. I've heard of occasions like this. Sometimes places have residual memories, and if you've been so infatuated with the stories of this place like others, they can interact with your subconscious in a way. Don't worry. You just need some rest. I can maintain the avenues of this asylum for as long as you need to rest. And I will have Dr. Jet administer you a new sleep aid. It should do well to curb these nightmares. Miss Jet, if you wouldn't mind. As through the speaker you can hear the sound of wheels of what seemed to be a cart rattling forward. You will give me but a mere moment. As you hear something scraping against this, whatever this casing is, before there's a long breath and long exhale. I thought you said this was going to calm me down. I never said that.
Mm-hmm.
I said it would help with your nightmares. Jet, is the serum quite done? Ivy's done a wondrous job of taking and rearranging the chemical compounds. Its effects are extraordinary. Good. I'm glad. I prepared this for you. You said you'd missed it back in Germany. You hear a sound of fabric lifting and Jet exclaiming in excitement. You found it. I've modified it. It should fit much better now. What did they used to call you back in Germany? Scheiße. Translate that for me, please. It's a stupid nickname. Miss Crane. Translate. Der Scarecrow. They called me Der Scarecrow. Good. Good. Now, I want you to do what you promised me. We're going to make a beautiful world together. I promise. And the tape shuts off. And I think with that, we're going to close our issue for the day.
Before that, if we could,
Go ahead.
if is anyone looking at Cadence right now
Probably
while this game
not.
is playing?
Probably not.
Okay. Okay. There is like a blink in their eyes that uh like I said, they're kind of like Batman animated series, like the white, like they blink and it is there's like almost an imperceptible sound of like a ding as
Mhm.
they've been recording this, and like essentially they're recording it, sending it directly to Arbati. Like that whole situation is basically just been recorded so that they can hear it.
And I think where the issue is going to close for that, Arabati's staring at a blue computer screen, having listened in.
Mm-hmm.
She leans back against this chair, just lets out a long exhale. It's going to be a long night. And she looks to her right at a illuminated pillar that lights up and begins to rotate to a familiar costume for our audience, and that will be where the issue closes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Thank you all for joining us for the second ep. We got another one. We got one more coming.
One more.
One more. I promise. It's one more. um, thank you all so much for joining and taking part in this. I don't think I have a closing thing, so let's go around and say hi. Who are we? What are we doing? Ink, what are you doing? Where can we find you?
Me,
Yeah.
hello. I'm Q once again. You can find me out on the internet at Midnight Inc. That is midnight, no underscore. I am Q. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I keep making cowboys. Speaking of cowboys, every other Tuesday over on Live from the Apocalypse, you can find me playing Nephilim Tenebris, which is using the Rust Hulks system, where I'm playing Captain Cassidy Starrunner, who has just been having a time. Capitalized so you know it's real. And then opposite Tuesdays from that, I'm over at Entropy Emporium for They Call Us Villains, where we are playing a masks horror game where I'm playing the saddest, ankiest boy, one Connor Creed. Let's see. Every other Thursday, I'm over again at LFTA for Redacted. And then opposite Saturdays is Class Reunion, which is a D&D isekai game. I'm actually playing a character that was not isekai. He's from the world. It's fun. Apart from that, I think we should have, tech gremlins willing. We should have another episode over on Tales from the Table Studios of the Celestial Railway Job, which is a scum and villainy game where we are doing a space train heist. I'm playing another one of my cowboys, Deacon Starlight, who is a mechanic. There's other stuff, but I've been talking too much. So come find me out on the internet, and you'll see what I'm doing.
Sparrow, what you doing? Where can we find you?
Hi, hello. I am your favorite burb on the interweb, a Black Sparrow. I co-founded Feywild and Out. We're on a break right now, so tune in to when we are going live again. You can follow me at ablacksparrow.com or beacons.ai/ablacksparrow for all my links. I am working with the Real Gobshite over doing a Pathfinder game there. The end of season 1 is coming up. Hopefully that's every Thursday or so. We're working on scheduling. And then I'm just doing one shots and short things like this here and there. So again, just follow me. I tend to be on Blue Sky the most. So bsky is at ablacksparrow.com, not at blacksparrow.bsky.social. I have that though, and it redirects. So that's where you can find me.
Lex?
Hi, I'm Lex. You can find me most places on the internet at LexArts with 2 X's or Fortaver, Fortaver, with or without the dash. I illustrate, I play games. There's a bunch of stuff that is happening in the background right now, but the only thing front facing that I can point to is more Black History stuff that we are getting rolling, including a panel tonight. And on Wednesdays over on Thorny Dryad's Twitch, we are releasing our Ryutama campaign that we finished season 2 of mid last year. So yeah, can't wait to share more of that. Things got really heartfelt and sad.
Like you do.
Like you do. And then, hi, it's me. I was your DM. Stuff that I'm doing. I'm often on Pluto Cleric's channel or Paige's channel. Just check that out, especially on Mondays. We're doing Sentai and Sensibilities, where I'm playing our Green Noble Knight, which has been great. I absolutely adore having bisexual panic. Or pansexual panic for me, which is just panic. Thursdays, I DM. You can catch me this coming Thursday running Blood and Cinders, a 5.19 game in which I DM a bunch of people who are in a world that they have no idea what is in store for them. And then opposing Thursdays, I run. Holy crap! I have completely blanked on what I run. One Piece. I run Set Sail, a One Piece D&D adventure. We just got back from our hiatus, and it was great. I'm also working on a TTRPG of my own. I'm working on Act of Sodom. If you enjoy cyberpunk, Cthulhu stuff, attacks against a religious world order, and also just being sad, hi, I'm working on a story path selling system. And I will have a casting call coming up probably tomorrow for a series of 101 games. If you enjoy Tekken, Soul Calibur, Mortal Kombat style fighting games with story, I'm running a one-on-one arcade game of your character going through the arcade storyline of a fighting game based on the Musha Shugyo system of TTRPGs. I just want a bunch of people for that to build a roster. Aside of that, you can mostly find stuff that I post randomly on both Twitter and Blue Sky. I'm a giant wrestling nerd, so I'm talking about wrestling quite a bit because it's so good right now. When I'm not doing that, sometimes on my Twitch I will just run games. I'm starting a Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days 2 playthrough, which means I will probably be streaming that because I have to record everything I do in my life. Also, stick around on this channel because, hi, we have a panel coming up and it's going to be awesome. Just stick around for those because this is really cool. And I don't care what Google says, it's still Black History Month. Please understand that much. We aren't going anywhere. I love you all. You all are fantastic. And I hope to see you all again for our next episode and many more to come. Goodbye and have a good night.